An anime begins with Rin, a handsome but completely jobless student stuck in a dull and frustrating life. He keeps running from place to place, searching for work, but every attempt ends with another rejection. Exhausted and hopeless, he finally sits down on a bench to catch his breath. That is when a strange girl walks up to him and asks for help finding the address written in her hand. Rin looks at it casually, then freezes. This is not some random address. It is his own house. Since he has no job and barely any money left, he has already put 2 rooms in his home up for rent, and this girl has come to rent one of them. With no better choice, Rin takes her along, and the two ride the bus toward his house. On the way, he learns her name is Lily, but when they reach near his place, her suitcase breaks. Rin tries to help and says he will carry it for her, only to realize the bag is so heavy he can barely move it, while Lily lifts it with no effort at all. Rin quietly wonders if he brought home a tenant or a hidden monster. As they continue walking, he notices her ears looking almost like rabbit ears for a second before they return to normal. He tells himself he must be tired, but before he can even process it, bats begin circling the area. Lily's face turns serious. She tells him to run, and in the next moment, she transforms into a beast-like form and pushes him away because a vampire girl has come to attack her. The vampire strikes, Lily blocks it, but then the vampire spreads her wings, disappears, and rushes straight toward Rin. Lily reacts fast, grabs a rock, and throws it at the vampire's wing, forcing her to retreat. After the danger passes, Rin thanks Lily for saving him and quickly takes her home, where he shows her the kitchen, bathroom, and her room. The night somehow passes peacefully, but the next morning Rin wakes up to Lily screaming. He rushes out and finds her terrified of his cat, so he tells her to relax because the cat is harmless. Then he opens the window, and bats smash inside as the same vampire girl appears in his house. She clashes with Lily again, and both of them start destroying the place. Rin finally loses patience and stops them, warning that they will pay for everything they break. To calm things down, he makes breakfast, and the vampire introduces herself as Vivian. She reveals that she also has the same address and came to rent a room. Rin shows her an empty room, but when Vivian tries to pay the rent, she realizes her money was lost during last night's fight. Embarrassed, she offers to cook and clean in exchange for staying there, and Rin agrees. To his surprise, Vivian's cooking is actually amazing. Just when things start settling down, Rin gets a phone call from a company about a job interview. They give him an address, but when he reaches the location, he finds nothing but an empty piece of land. Then the phone rings again, and the caller tells him to touch the advertisement on the pole beside him. Rin does it, and suddenly a massive castle appears in the sky and pulls him upward until he lands in front of its gate. An electric-looking man opens the door for him and disappears. Inside, Rin finds a woman waiting for him. She tells him he is now in Space Hall number 35 and introduces herself as Raven, his new boss. Rin is completely confused and asks what job she is talking about, why she wants him, and why he is here when he never applied for anything. Raven explains that this is not a normal job someone applies for. The job chooses the person. She tells him he has been selected to work with the Space Empire, an organization that manages and balances different worlds and beings across the universe. When Rin asks why he was chosen, Raven points to Lily and Vivian, saying he must have noticed they are not human. They are special beings called outcasts, and the fact that Rin managed to keep them under control proves he is suitable for the role. She brings him into a strange room and explains that his duty is to care for outcasts like Lily and Vivian, protect them, and stop them from disturbing the balance. Rin asks what happens if he refuses, and Raven calmly says they will erase his memories from the last 2 days and return him to his normal life. Rin only asks her to promise that he will not be forced to do anything evil. Raven assures him that their goal is peace, and the salary is good too. The moment Rin hears about the money, his resistance weakens, and he signs the contract. He returns home and tells Lily and Vivian everything, but neither of them knows who Raven is. Still, they guess she is probably not connected to the demon hunters. Vivian then explains that demon hunters are genetically modified humans who hate outcasts. After a long war between both sides, the hunters gain the upper hand, forcing outcasts to keep moving from place to survive. After such a strange day, Rin finally lies down to rest, but when he wakes up, he finds himself in an unfamiliar world. At first, he thinks it is only a dream, until wolves start chasing him. He runs, but one of them jumps on him and bites him. Rin wakes up in shock, relieved for 1 second, until he notices wolf fur still in his hand. Now he knows something is wrong. He tells Vivian what happened. She checks the fur and finds no magic on it. Then she draws a protection charm on Rin's hand, but the spell instantly disappears, shocking her because it seems Rin's body rejects magic. Before they can understand it, Raven calls and orders Rin to come immediately. He returns to the floating castle, where Raven tells him his first workday has officially started and gives him an information tool that can help him in many ways and may even save him from death. Rin panics when he hears the word death, but Raven casually says no one can guarantee life, although she has a solution. She takes him to a modification device that can give humans special defensive and offensive abilities. Rin looks at it and says it looks more like a coffin, but Raven throws him inside before he can argue. She locks the machine and starts the process, except it seems she presses the wrong button, because Rin suddenly wakes up back in the same dream world. The information tool begins speaking and confirms that Raven really did hit the wrong button. It explains that its role is to answer questions and guide him. Then it tells Rin he is inside the dream world, a parallel world connected to reality, and if he dies here, his real body will die too. Just as that warning sinks in, the wolves return. They attack, but this time a shield appears around Rin and protects him. The tool explains that this barrier is one of the abilities he gained from the modification device. The wolves howl as if calling someone stronger, and soon their leader appears. The massive wolf charges at Rin, but when the barrier activates again, the impact breaks the leader's teeth. The wolf finally speaks and asks Rin what he is doing there. Rin honestly says he has no idea and only remembers falling asleep before waking up in that place. Since the wolf can smell lies, he realizes Rin is telling the truth. Through him, Rin learns that humans also live in this world. Rin quickly makes a deal. If the wolf shows him where the humans are, Rin will find a dentist to fix his broken teeth. The strange deal works. The wolf guides him toward a human village. Rin enters an empty house and finds a metal piece with writing on it. The information tool warns him that his time is almost over, so Rin quickly grabs the piece and returns to the real world. Raven tells him the process was still successful. He gained a protection barrier, and his strength, speed, stamina, and healing ability have all increased. When Rin asks about the dream world, Raven explains that it is a parallel world connected to their own, and ordinary humans cannot enter it. Raven explains that reaching the dream world normally requires a special charm, but Rin tells her he went there while sleeping, and the proof is the wolf fur he brought back, along with the metal piece he found there. But when he searches for the metal, he cannot find it anywhere, making it seem like the item never came back with him to the real world. And before he leaves, Raven tells him there is an outcast he must retrieve from Europe, and she has already booked first-class tickets for him, Vivian, and Lily. So the three of them take a plane and travel for the mission, eventually reaching a hotel in England to rest, while the mission location turns out to be a castle called Yorkford. Vivian sends her bats to watch the area, but strangely, she finds protective charms inside the hotel, so she warns Rin that something is wrong, and they need to leave immediately. Suddenly, a man named Simba appears and tells Rin that he wants to talk to him. He says he knows the area they are heading to because Yorkford Castle is famous for ghosts and strange supernatural events. Vivian pulls Rin aside and tells him she can feel a demon hunter inside the hotel, and she suspects the man named Simba. Right then, they hear his voice from the next balcony, and Simba admits she is right, saying he really is a demon hunter. Vivian gets annoyed and asks if he is joking because no demon hunter would openly admit that, but then he uses magic and teleports right in front of them, saying he is also going to the same place and can help them. Vivian quickly agrees, and when Rin asks why she accepted so easily, she explains that Simba is probably planning something, so it is better to keep him close where they can watch him. After that, they take a train and see a news report where a man named Angus claims he saw a ghost at Yorkford Castle and says this is not the first time something like this has appeared there. He also reveals that the government has offered a cash reward to anyone who can drive the ghost out of the castle. The moment Vivian hears about money, her eyes light up because she is broke, and this chance has come straight to her. Then three strange-looking people enter the train, looking exactly like ghost hunters, and they are most likely heading to Yorkford Castle too. After reaching the nearest area to the castle, the group stays at a hotel, and by coincidence, the hotel belongs to Angus himself. They ask him about the castle, and he tells them everything that happened there, along with all the stories he has heard in the past. Vivian later takes Rin to their room and tells him that the man is lying because she sent her bats to scout the place and found no ghosts there at all, which means the outcast they are searching for is probably inside the castle. Rin then goes to Simba and finds him holding a photo. When Rin asks who it is, Simba says it is his sister. Rin asks if she is a demon hunter like him, but Simba says no. He joined the demon hunters only to protect her, and now, sadly, he does not even know where she is. That night, Angus and the three strange people from the train secretly head toward the castle, while Simba quietly follows them. Vivian enters Rin's room and tells him Simba has left the hotel. They go to Lily's room and find her eating while still half asleep. asleep. Then Vivian grabs Rin and flies after Simba, while Lily sleepwalks behind them until she bumps into something and wakes up. Vivian and Rin land to check what happened to her and discover an underground gate, a secret shortcut leading straight toward the castle. They enter the tunnel, and after a few minutes they reach the castle, leaving Angus and his 3 companions behind, while Simba walks around the area after dressing like one of the ghost hunters, clearly searching for the same outcast they are looking for. Before he can enter, Vivian releases her bats on the 3 people with Angus and appears in front of them in her vampire form, scaring all 3 of them away so their first group is cleared. They enter the castle and find strange writing they cannot understand, so Rin uses the information tool to translate it. The writing reveals that as more people visit the castle, the number of guests at the hotel will increase too, making it clear that someone is using the ghost rumors for business. They continue deeper into the castle and find more writing on the walls. Vivian explains that these markings are meant to suppress magic and are usually used by demon hunters, meaning there is probably a demon inside this castle. The moment she touches the wall, a trap activates and arrows rain down on them, but Rin quickly uses his shield to protect everyone. Then they find a huge rolling rock and run along the wall to avoid it, but as they continue behind it, the floor suddenly opens beneath them and they fall down. When Rin wakes up, he is shocked by the amount of gold and jewels around them, and Vivian happily thinks they are finally rich. But before she can grab anything, Rin stops her and tells her not to trust what she sees. When she focuses, she realizes all the treasure is an illusion, and the real place is filled with pits and traps, proving this magic is affecting outcasts. They move forward and find new writing on the wall, but suddenly the room starts shrinking as the walls close in from both sides. Vivian and Lily collapse from exhaustion because the magic writing is sealing their power, while Rin uses his strength to hold the walls back, leaving everyone unsure whether he is truly that strong or simply unaffected by magic. Meanwhile, Simba has fallen into almost every trap possible, from arrows to rocks to pits and even fake treasure, because the guy never says no to anything. Then a knight appears in front of Rin, but Lily steps in and protects him, destroying it with a single attack. They find more writing on the knight's sword, explaining that a sealed demon stone exists here and the knight's duty is to protect it. Rin asks if it means the stone above them, and when they look up, they see a giant red stone hanging overhead, meaning the demon is most likely sealed inside it. Simba reaches a wall and senses magical energy behind it, so he plants explosives, and the blast works, but that wall was right above the stone. Because of the explosion, the chains around the stone break, and rooms open from every side as more knights come out. Simba attacks with arrows and uses magic to remove them, but their numbers are too high. Vivian gathers her strength to launch a powerful attack, while Lily knocks down knights one after another. Vivian finally gathers enough magic and prepares to strike, but all her power is absorbed by the magic stone, which sends it toward the sky, and suddenly meteors begin falling to the ground. The stone shatters, the seal breaks, and a giant demon emerges from it. The demon lands, grabs Rin and Simba, and flies out of the castle, while Vivian takes Lily and chases after him. Vivian prepares an attack to save Rin, but the demon lets him go and says, "Are you the one who came for me?" Rin is confused and says, "For you? Came to find the outcast." The demon replies that he is the outcast, and the information tool confirms it. He introduces himself as Zax, then looks at Simba and asks who the man with Rin is, but before anyone can answer, he says it does not matter and throws Simba into the forest. Rin realizes that the ghosts everyone talked about were actually the knights protecting Zax, and they were the reason people were scared. Zax says they are useless now and destroys the castle with one blow. Rin then asks how they are supposed to take him back looking like that, but Zax says it is no problem and transforms into a human form that looks like a powerful wrestler. Rin returns to Raven and reports the mission's success, and Raven explains that Zax is from space, while the magic stone was actually a gate connecting space and Earth, and Zax successfully opened that gate. Now Rin must take care of Zax along with Vivian and Lily. When Rin returns home, he finds that Vivian has cooked food, cleaned the house, and even washed the clothes. Then she tells him to wait because she found something in his clothes, and when she shows him the metal piece, Rin is shocked because it is the same metal he took from the dream world, meaning it must have slipped into his clothes by accident. Vivian cannot read the writing on it and says she has never seen that language before. A week later, Raven calls Rin again, and on the way he sees a girl singing on the street and is impressed by her voice. After that, he goes to Raven's office and finds her clearly annoyed because an outcast who was supposed to arrive on Earth drifted off course and ended up on a faraway planet. Rin's mission is to go to that planet and bring the outcast back. Rin barely starts asking what kind of planet she means before Raven cuts him off and says it is an order, and he will go using their technology, which will transfer him to to that planet. She also warns him that it is a water planet, so she will send someone with him who has experience in aquatic environments, and that person turns out to be the same girl he saw singing earlier. Not only will she help him, but she is also one of the outcasts, meaning Rin must take care of her too, making his house feel more and more like a hotel. Her name is Yuma, and she tells them that her mother was a mermaid, but she herself was born on Earth. Zax decides to go with them because he has experience with planets and outer space. The three of them prepare for the trip and board a space vessel. This ship is supposed to take them to the planet's outer atmosphere, then transfer them into a smaller craft that will bring them down to the surface. And once they finish the mission, Raven will send another vehicle to bring them back. The ships are fully automatic, even controlled by an AI captain, and as the journey begins, they pass the time by playing cards. After 10 hours, the captain announces that they are about to transfer to the smaller ship, but suddenly, the vessel shakes violently. The captain reports that they are under attack by aliens, so they rush toward the smaller craft, but the problem is that its door is locked because the system has been damaged by the attack. Zax says it is not a problem. So Rin and Yuma get inside while Zax goes down to force the door open. He has to transform into his demon form and tear it apart, and at that moment, the smaller craft launches, carrying Rin and Yuma down to the planet. They crash into the water, and Yuma quickly transforms into a mermaid and saves Rin from drowning. When Rin wakes up, he finds himself in a strange place, and the information tool tells him that he has entered the dream world because he lost consciousness. He walks out and hears a sound from far away, then sees red wolves standing against blue wolves. The red wolves attack, so Rin quickly steps in front of the blue wolves and creates his barrier, sending the red wolves flying and scaring them away. The leader of the blue wolves thanks Rin, then immediately asks where the dentist is that Rin promised to bring him. Rin awkwardly says he entered this place without preparing anything, but promises he will bring the dentist next time. Since Rin helped them against the red wolves, the leader lets it slide. Rin then asks him about the writing on the metal piece, and the leader says it is an ancient language that existed long ago, but most of the people who used it have already disappeared. Before he can explain more, the information tool warns Rin that there is no time left, and Rin disappears from the dream world, waking up in the real world beside Yuma, who saved him from drowning. They learn that the outcast ship has landed on the planet, but it's split into two parts, one on land and one underwater. So they decide to check the part on land first. Meanwhile, Lily and Vivian are sitting at home eating when Lily suddenly feels weak and loses consciousness for a few seconds. When she wakes up, she enters a violent state and attacks Vivian, wrecking the house. Rin reaches the landside part of the ship with the others, and Zax opens it, but they find it empty with no sign of the outcast. Yuma then transforms into an octopus-like creature, scaring away a strange creature in front of them, and Rin realizes she is not only able to become a mermaid, but can change into different sea creatures as well, which is an extremely useful ability. Yuma takes Rin and they head toward the second half of the ship underwater. When they enter it, they find a sealed body-like container, and once they open it, they discover an egg. Raven contacts them and confirms that this is indeed the outcast, meaning their mission is complete, so now they just have to wait for the return ship. They come out of the water and wait until the ship arrives, with Raven herself on board. She explains that the egg belongs to the mermaid race, and after a disaster destroyed their planet, this egg may be the last surviving member of that entire world, so they must protect it until it hatches. Rin returns home and finds Vivian has tied Lily up. Shocked, he asks if she has gone crazy and why she is torturing the poor girl, but Lily breaks free from the rope and attacks him. Rin blocks her with his barrier, and Zax grabs her to stop her movements. Vivian explains everything that happened while they were away, and Rin says they need to take Lily to Raven so she can help, but the problem is how to move her in this condition. Zax says he has a solution and begins casting a spell. Vivian says she has heard that demons are experts in teleportation spells, and just like that, Zax completes it, and they instantly appear in front of Raven, who is preparing lunch and angrily complains that she cannot even eat in peace. Raven grabs Lily's head and checks her eyes, and Lily suddenly returns to normal. Raven asks what she saw, and Lily says she saw a red moon with people living on it, but then she falls back into her violent state and attacks again. Raven knocks her unconscious with one hit and tells the others that Lily is going through an evolution stage. Her race grows stronger over time, and right now she is on the edge of a new evolution. Raven puts her into a stabilization device that calms her and brings her back to normal, then warns Rin to keep a close eye on Lily because she will most likely return to that violent state when the full moon appears, and the full moon is tomorrow. Rin goes out to buy supplies, but it seems someone is secretly watching him. When he returns home, he finds Vivian has cooked some strange liquid, saying it helps unstabilized spiritual power. But the problem is that the liquid is so dangerous it melts the floor. So Rin decides they should camp in the mountains, an open place far from people where they can control Lily if she loses herself again. They spend the night together, and after eating too much, everyone falls asleep except Lily, who hears a sound outside. She walks out and sees the full moon in front of her. Rin wakes up quickly and wakes the others too, and Lily really does transform, but instead of becoming some terrifying monster, she turns into a husky-like dog. Rin has no idea whether this counts as evolution or a downgrade, but the good news is that she is not violent and simply plays with him. However, from far away, two people are watching them. Vivian throws a sleeping pill at Lily, but instead of knocking her out, Lily suddenly runs toward the city because she senses something coming from there. Everyone chases after her, and Rin tells Zax to stop her. Zax blocks her path and uses his strength to freeze her movement, but Lily hits him so hard that he goes flying. Vivian traps her in a cage, and Yuma starts singing, using a song with a calming effect. Finally, the sleeping medicine works and Lily falls asleep, returning to her human form, so they take her back home. What they do not know is that the two people from before are waiting above the house. Rin places Lily on the bed, but one of them appears behind him and knocks him unconscious with one strike. Lily dreams that she is in space, with claws like Wolverine on her hands, then wakes up in a strange warehouse. She tries to escape, but an electric shock throws her back. The two people appear and tell her they are on her side and came to protect her from Vivian's magic. Lily does not believe them and attacks, but the man hits her and knocks her unconscious again. However, one of Vivian's bats has been watching everything. The man notices it and attacks, but the bat escapes and flies out. Vivian finds Rin unconscious, and when he wakes up, he remembers what happened. Since Lily is missing, they realize those people must have kidnapped her, but the problem is they do not know who they are or where they went. Right then, the bat returns and gives Vivian the information, revealing that Lily is being held in a warehouse nearby. They decide to split into two teams, with Vivian and Rin on one side, and Zax and Yuma on the other. One of Lily's kidnappers covers the warehouse with a barrier to stop anyone from entering, and when a bat tries to pass through it, it gets electrocuted and dies. Zax and Yuma try to reach the warehouse through the nearby building, but Zax accidentally breaks a door and barges into someone's home, and of course, the people inside do not let him leave without paying for the damage. Meanwhile, Vivian and Rin cannot enter the building, but Vivian remembers what happened when Rin touched the wall before and stopped it, so she guesses he might be able to pass through the barrier. She grabs him and flies upward, but the man sees her and attacks, forcing her to protect herself. His name is Yuen, and he transforms into a beast-like form before attacking Vivian. She tries to dodge and throws Rin toward the building while she stays behind to fight Yuen, who calls her the Queen of the Blood Moon. Rin uses their fight as a chance to enter the building, and just as Vivian suspected, the barrier does not affect him. But the moment he gets inside, the second man appears and attacks. Rin blocks him with his shield, which proves strong enough to protect him, then runs through the place to confuse him. The information tool reveals that this man is Yuen's brother and guides Rin toward Lily's location, so Rin grabs her and tries to escape. Yuen's brother appears again, but Vivian arrives with Yuen, whom she has already defeated. Yuen tells his brother that Vivian really is the Queen of the Blood Moon, and his brother immediately assumes she must be trying to use Lily. Rin tells them to calm down because he has no idea what they are talking about. Rin asks them what they are even talking about, then explains his side of the story, and after hearing everything, Yuen and his brother realize that Vivian is not the person they thought she was, but they still tell Rin about a prophecy saying that the outcasts will one day regain the power they lost. Before they can explain more, a group of demon hunters arrives, not just one or two, but dozens of them surrounding the whole place. Rin tries to stop them peacefully, but they attack first, so he creates a barrier and protects everyone while they escape. As Rin keeps blocking their strikes, Vivian attacks back, Lily transforms, and everyone moves separately to scatter the hunters. Rin then faces a girl who attacks him directly, but she cannot understand what kind of being he is because she has never seen anyone like him before. Rin tells her he is human, but she refuses to believe it after seeing his powers. Even after she uses several weapons against him, Rin blocks every attack and finally lands one clean hit that knocks her unconscious. Meanwhile, Yuen and his brother are fighting too, but both of them get injured by arrows and Yuen is also stabbed with a dagger. Rin arrives and Lily jumps in as well, using the new power she gained after her evolution. She creates a tornado of fire and another tornado of ice, pushing the demon hunters away and giving everyone a chance to escape. Soon, the whole group reunites, including Zax and Yuma, Yuma, and Yuma uses a healing spell to treat Yuen. Suddenly, another attack comes at them because the demon hunters have returned. But Rin blocks the strikes again, and now Zax is there to deal with them properly. The hunter's leader attacks Zax, but his daggers start melting from Zax's heat. Zax begins transforming, and the man gets scared and tries to run. But Zax teleports him right back in front of him and knocks him unconscious with one blow, proving how terrifyingly strong he is. They gather the captured hunters to take them to Raven, but then the girl appears and takes Yuma hostage, telling them to hand over the prisoners if they want her released. Just then, a voice comes from above and Simba appears. He talks things through and convinces Rin to accept the deal. Rin releases the demon hunters and the girl takes them away, but in the same moment screams echo from the forest and the information tool says they are being captured. Raven has arrived with her soldiers and a battle against the demon hunters begins. Strangely, Yuma suddenly hits Simba, and when they all return home, they discover that Yuma is actually his sister, the same girl from the photo he had shown before. Simba explains that his father was a demon hunter, and he wanted to become like him. But one day, both his father and mother suddenly disappeared, so Yuma started traveling to search for them. Then the doorbell rings. They open the door and find Yuen and his brother standing there with an offer for everyone to join their clan. Vivian refuses immediately, but then they show the gold they brought and tell her she can get that much if she agrees. At that exact moment, the lights go out and even the water stops running because Rin is so broke that he has not paid the bills. The next day, he wakes up and realizes everyone has left the house. So he goes to Raven's office and asks her for an advance payment to cover the bills. What he does not know is that all the outcasts living with him have gone out to work so they can help him. Raven then brings up the prophecy Rin heard from Yuen and his brother, along with the metal piece he could not read. She shows him two more pieces she had with her, and all three seem to be connected to the same prophecy. Rin starts connecting the dots, including the wolves he saw in the dream world and the empty sphere he came across before, and tells Raven that he suspects the outcasts may originally come from the dream world. He believes that if they can collect all these metal pieces and translate them, they might learn a lot more. Later, Rin returns home and finds the electricity is back because the outcast paid his bills for him. Lily then happily tells everyone she has prepared a surprise for dinner, saying she is boiling eggs, but Rin realizes with horror that she has been boiling the same egg they found in space. He panics and asks what she has done, and they rush to save it, but it is already too late because the egg has started hatching. And that is where the story slows down for a moment, leaving Rin standing there with a house full of outcasts, unpaid chaos, strange prophecies, and now a newborn mystery from space, proving that the life he once thought was boring has become the kind of disaster he can never escape from.